All right. Welcome to another morning broadcast, the first broadcast of this year. So we are live on YouTube as well as on Zoom. Um, I hope you all had a good break, spent time with your families, took some time to reflect on the new year, what's important for you, just personally, right? What's personally important, as well as what's important for you as a trader. So I hope you came away with some good revelations. I look forward to our Thursday class to talk to you all about it. I want to hear all about what some of you all's goals are for the new year. All right, so we'll jump into the cues, big picture, what's going on in the market. Then we'll jump into oil and the consequences of what's happening in Venezuela, or what happened with the U.S. And Venezuela. So we'll jump over into the cues first. All right. So when we sort of we had a somewhat of a Santa rally, November coming into December, we had some selling, and then we had another rally, right? So we had a wave, and there are several stocks that we traded, right? We're trading tech. Micron was a major, had major strength, and it has continued, right? So Micron earnings came out, we traded it several days. It continued to show strength. We looked at the space names were in play at one point. Tesla was in play at one point. We look at the Rocket Labs and a few others, and silver was had continued to rise and show strength in the market. So it had some pullbacks, moved sideways, and then it's still showing strength. And then it was unexpected for me, but the extraction of the Venezuelan president, I think we could say, his extraction has resulted in oil rising, and several companies related to that are like that have major contributors to oil. They're processing refineries, oil field services. A lot of those companies have risen. So you'll see there's a company, PBF. This is one of, but if you look at some of the major ones like Chevron, gapped up, ExxonMobil, gapped up here, ConocoPhillips, gapped up, right? So some of these may be out of your price range, but if you look at something like PBF, there's a few that are up. This is the third gainer on the mid gainers, mid float stocks, amongst those stocks that are up today. So there are some that I'll be watching. I'll put in the game plan, but I'd say definitely gonna keep an eye on the names that are moving as a result of that news and that extraction. Many of them had gapped up. I mean, I think I counted about 10 tickers, right, that have gapped up. So I'll be sharing those. And if you don't get the full list, you can do a search, and those should come up for you. So I'd say definitely take a look at putting those in play, right? So all right, so we talked about the oil names. So that's the Venezuela contracts are going to come their way. So Halliburton, Chevron, and then you can look at some of those the companies that are refineries or that are a part of that sympathy play. Okay, so that's a big one on the game plan. All right, another one is here we had let's go back to the cues for a second. So on Friday, yesterday we had a sell-off back into support, and then this morning price gapped up, and then we're seeing some movement to the upside. So most of what I look at here related to the cues, the indices, are to see if we're going to break levels, right? So we have several we had tight consolidations. We had gap down, and then it gapped up, and we're approaching the same level that the sell off happened at. So we'll see if price pushes up and pushes through, or if it pushes up into this area and then it sort of fades, right? Consequentially, there are several names that are in a range and that have clear levels that we could trade from, right? One of them being Micron, right? So Micron just broke out of these levels on Friday, and then it gapped up. So it can continue to be in play, and it can continue to be in play. So we'll see what happens if there's some consolidation that forms and it continues to have strength, or pulls back for a bounce, right? So I look at a lot of those names that were that we traded that are part of the basket, right? Look at Quantum. We had a range here on Friday, then it broke out on Friday, right? So price pulled back. We had something like this happen like on Friday, and then Monday broke out, right? So price pulled back here, ranged, breakout Friday, and then now has a tight little consolidation here. So we'll see if it breaks out again, right? ONDS is another one of those names that was in the range and started to show strength Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday breakout, and then now consolidation. We'll either have a pullback or continuation, right? So when I return to our basket that we were looking at, right, of tech stocks, to see what happens, because pretty much what happened is that we had the run up. A lot of these names pulled back, consolidated, and then they started to show strength when we had that Santa rally, and we saw that wave, right? Price pulled up and pulled back, and then we started to see those tech stocks start to show strength again. All right, so ONDS we talked about, and Micron. There's a few other. There's a whole set of those stocks that that I kind of have on watch, but I'm just talking about like some of the strongest right now. Okay, all right. Let's talk about silver. Let me know also in the chat, what are you looking at? CEO Nvidia to speak at. Yeah, I didn't even look at Nvidia this morning. Another one that tight range. It just didn't do much over the past few days. So some of the others were more attractive. But we have something similar here. Clear range, clear levels, showing strength. So either we have rejection here, or price trades higher. Okay. All right. So let me know what you're looking at, and I will take a look. We'll get to it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about some of the space names. We're going to carry some of these themes over into this week. So Sea-Doo was one that it had strength, started to show strength, the week of Christmas, December, that early that week, popped, pulled back, showed strength. So it's just been moving, like creating higher highs and higher lows, even up until, New Year's Eve, showed strength. And then Friday, we came back, still showing strong movement, and then it gapped up, and now it's pulling back to Friday's high, right? So clear levels on Sea-Doo as well. So that's the space name that I keep on watch there. We were looking at Rocket Labs. We traded several days as well. That one pulled back, dipped, and then rallied on Friday. Now it's approaching highs here. So the space names on watch as well. Yeah, we so we'll see how things sort of open up here. All right. Let's talk about some of these that are on the scan. SMXT. So SMXT, this one reported news of a contract in Puerto Rico, 158 million EPC contracts for 400 watts battery storage project in Puerto Rico. So we see volume there. One of the top names on the gappers list. So we'll see what happens there. This looks like, I mean, it could potentially be just a short-term play. We'll see. Price didn't hold here. We'll see if it recovers VWAP and then continues higher as a potential. All right. What else are you looking at? Let's talk SoFi ALT. All right. SoFi is one of those, several days out. We've caught scalps, over the last, 30 days, every so often. We'll have more volume. So right now there are a few clear higher time frame levels that we can mark up, and we'll see what happens at the open. What the volume is like there. All right, ALT. ALT. Let's gain breakthrough therapy status for FDA breakthrough therapy. 100 million float. This stock is just kind of popped and then dropped. Okay. Interesting find there. Why don't I see this one? Okay. RCG. RGC. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for me. Watching MNTS, fresh news, but the initial move during pre-market may have been better quality move on watch for now. Yep. Okay. So somebody asked me about number one. I'd say like my number one, like my attention is going to go to towards the stocks that may move based on the Venezuela contracts. I'd say that my attention will go there first, right? So we look at here. Halliburton, not this one. All right. So Halliburton is one of them, right? So we look at that, look at the gap up, look at the higher time frame here. So I'd say that'll be my first pick. That's the fresh news. That's a fresh news pick. The market hasn't been open, so we'll see how the market responds, right? So that's probably like where my main attention will go first. And then I'm looking at, Micron, looking at, so when I say Halliburton, I'm looking at, you can look at the different stocks in that basket, right? So we'll see what happens at the open, where volume goes. So that'll be how I'm trading that, how I'm going to be, what I'll be considering first, right? So that's number one because of the news. And then number two would be, I'm looking at, some of those tech names that are showing strength. Okay, I still have silver. What's so funny about silver is I just had it on watch, but I didn't trade it much. while it was going, because I had another stock, or like individual stock that was in play. So I didn't trade it much, even though it was on the list. So right now it's just kind of in the range here. So, just kind of have it on watch. But yeah, so mainly I'm looking at the this Venezuelan contracts. That fresh news, I can see a lot of interest coming there. Potentially, we don't know what's going to happen, but potentially have a lot of interest there in trading. So that's probably like number one. Everything else after that will be, a lot of the names that I looked at, that I was mentioning. We'll see what happens, where volume goes. Okay. All right. SMR, XOM looks good. Daily time frame. Yeah, I'm just looking at yeah, I mean, it's one of those. So actually on my other monitor, I'm just gonna have I have all of them up here, and so Halliburton, Chevron, XOM, we have PF here. I want to bring this. I'll probably just drop some names there for y'all. SMR. Let me see what. Let's see. Okay. SMR, OKLO. They're moving as well. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. All right. We have some options here. Not bad at all. Okay. All right. MNTS. It's one. It's one that we could watch as well. We can just have on list. Okay. All right. So yeah, don't don't become overwhelmed. Carve out your specialty, your ideal float that you trade, ideal price that you trade, and don't try to narrow down things to what are the best catalysts, what's showing the best volume, and then you kind of have some of this other stocks like in the background, right? All right. So I hope y'all have a good day. If you're on the YouTube, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I know that we switched channels, so thank you all for coming over as well. I really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. All right. Yeah. And if you guys want to trade with us live,